What's good, everybody? We're gonna do a video where I'm gonna talk about these issues that I'm gonna be sending to CGC that are video game related, and I think are worth getting graded. Because it seems like I think the next wave of comics, it was already before this that you could have caught the wave, but it's starting to go that way right now with more companies buying up rights to the TV and movie versions of the video game and whatnot and the property. So I think there's going to be this trickle down effect with the comics as far as some of these key issues of the first appearance of this and that of the video game character in the comics. So as you've seen with, Last of Us, which, it's a little different because I guess the print run was a little low. But still, I think there's also this crossover between comic book fans and video game fans that is pretty prominent, I think, or has a potential to, cross over culturally, and it kind of hits kind of a zeitgeist, kind of almost, to where they're just so popular. But I just wanted to go over some of the books that I'm going to be sending to CGC to get graded. Some I don't know if it's going to be the highest grade or whatever, but I hope for the best. But for the most part, I think a lot of them will get a high grade. Otherwise, I wouldn't send them. I've already picked through like some of the ones that they're not the highest of grade of the comics, and I'm just like, maybe I should just keep it raw. But this one, Mega Man #1, from 2003. I want to say that whatever TV show or movie has been in production has kind of been in production like stall or something. I think Netflix owns it, but I'm not quite sure. But if they do it right, I mean, example of doing the movie right would be Sonic and what they did, and the popularity of, obviously, I don't know if Sonic and Mega Man are on the same level. I don't think so, but either way, there's really not a lot of these on the census. So I'm just gonna send it in, see what I get. But that's that one. Next one that I'm sending in is this Horizon Zero Dawn. This is also like be on the lookout type deal of these books. Because I don't think a lot of people know about this being the first appearance of Aloy. I know there's I'm pretty sure this came out before the actual series of this book. But Netflix is working on the series, which I think has a lot of potential. I love the first game. I started playing the second game. I'm not as into it as I was the first game, but that's because there's just so many other games that's out there. I definitely want to get back to playing this Into the West or Forbidden West or whatever. But I feel like this world has a lot potential to explore, and just I think the series, if it done right, like a lot of all this, if it's done right, there's a lot of potential in these comic books. Just like Last of Us, if that show wasn't done right, or if it was just complete crap, the comic book would obviously tank. But it's not. It's actually going up in price. But yeah, whenever I see these in like dollar bins, I pick them up because I feel like this is gonna hit one day. I might be wrong. It's not, advice to go. But if you see it for $1, I'd pick it up. Same with the first ongoing one. If I see that in a dollar bin, I pick it up, especially if it's in high grade, obviously. But anyways, that's Horizon Zero Dawn. Call of Duty Zombies. I feel like this has potential to do something. If they ever do something with this property, it's a hell of a, game mode. I love this. I love playing Call of Duty Zombies back in the day. Oh man, so many hours. This is more like a nostalgic CGC submission. It's not honestly, it's not really the highest grade. There's a lot of like spine issues when you see it in the light. But I'm just doing it because I love that game, and honestly, it might even come back like a 7.0 or something just because of the spine issues. But I'm just doing it just for the personal collection. A lot of this stuff is, I think, going to be personal collection, and some, depending on the grade, I will probably end up keeping or getting rid of or whatever. But yeah, Call of Duty Zombies. I think there's a lot of potential of that. There's a lot of lore and story involved with that. The Call of Duty Zombies. I mean, a lot of it's kind of slipping my mind because I basically was just running around just trying to survive as long as I could. So I remember trying to, find all the Easter eggs and do all the things in the game. But that was, anyways. This is Last of Us, the survival variant. Now the other one has gotten so hot. The 1A or whatever that has like an order number of like 6,000 or something. I don't know how many of these are even out there. But this thing's slowly been going up in price. I would love to get, I think there's some issues on the backside with this comic, on the other side of the cover that could hurt it. I think there's like some fingerprint or some smudge that I was trying to get out that wasn't coming out. But who knows, if it's in, 90, 92, 94, 96 territory, that'd be great. But either way, we're submitting it. This one, Gears of War. Netflix owns this and it's in development. If done right, this could be good. I think they have a TV show and then they have a movie, a live action movie. Don't quote me on that. But I think this has potential to be a hit if done right. I'm going to keep saying that, if done right. If they get the right showrunners and all that, and they just basically, when it comes to these shows, it's like honor the source material. If they do that, then it's going to be a hit. If they don't, then people are going to hate it. But Gears of War, I think that could be an entertaining series. I wasn't a big player of it. I know I played it with my friend back in the day because he had Xbox. But the 2-player co-op was awesome. I remember that. But yeah, that's that. I think in this thing, is going to be tough to get in high grade because it's all black. It's nothing but a black cover. But we got Warhammer Monthly Zero. This is I guess the preview of Warhammer. Now, I found this in a freaking dollar bin at a antique shop or whatever. But Henry Cavill's working on something with it with Amazon. Now, he's a big Warhammer fan. I know this is kind of cheating because this is like a tabletop thing beforehand. I'm not a big Warhammer buff. But I think with Henry Cavill and putting this is a passion project. I think it could be good. Maybe you will get me, invested in the lore, and I don't know. Those Warhammer monthlies though are getting pricey. I'm glad I found this in a dollar bin, and there's not a lot in the census. I'm sure there's more now, but I love the covers to them. They're amazing covers. I mean, look at the artwork. Next one is this Tomb Raider Witchblade. I bought this like a long time ago for very, very cheap. And there's news that came out that Amazon's working on another version of it. If it gets a high grade, I'm probably going to move it because the showrunner and the writer involved, I'm not thrilled about it. And I feel like they've done this property over and over again. So it's just like, it'll probably cycle itself out. It'll go up and down in price. But this is in such high grade that I'm going to see what I get. But yeah. Tomb Raider. First person Tomb Raider. This one is, I was debating on because it's kind of on the lower side of the grade spectrum, but it is the first appearance of Super Mario, or Mario and Donkey Kong, blip number 1, but it's a newsstand. Now, a lot of the copies that I've seen online are not, they're like the direct or whatever, or that don't have the UPC label. So I don't know what all that's about, but this will probably, it's not going to get a high grade. It might even get a 4.0, but since it is the first appearance of Mario and Donkey Kong, it holds weight. And a lot of collectors out there are going to always want it. So I might end up moving this because I think this one suffers from bad cover syndrome. If this had Mario on the cover, this would be like thousands of dollars, even in a low grade, but it's not. It's like a $50 book. But yeah, I'm just gonna send it in because why not? It's first appearance of Mario. But these next 3 are kind of the same, but it's God of War number 1. Out of all the comics that could really just take off, I think this one has real potential. Just like Last of Us, it has somewhat of a low print count. I think it's like 9,000 or 10,000. I know it's not 6,000, but still. I think God of War is a very popular franchise. They always, like, all the games are very, very good. They do an amazing job with this game franchise. I have the Ragnarok. I still haven't played it. I played the last one. That was unbelievable. But this one I might need to get pressed because it has like this weird curve going on with it. So I might press that before I send it in. But the other ones, I'm gonna just go ahead and send in number 2 because this is very, very high grade. It has the origin, and this number 4, that's also very high grade. I actually picked this up I picked up like this in like another issue. I think it was number 3 or whatever. So I got 1 through 4 or whatever, for like I think I paid like 140 or something. I'm basically just like trying to get it before any of the TV show we hear anything about that, because I think this has the potential to go up in value. It's still like 100, like the number one, it's still like you're gonna pay around $100 for a Raw if you're looking for it. Maybe you might be able to get it cheaper, who knows. I would try to get it, you know, as cheap as you can and high as grade as you can. Because that 9.8, I think there's actually, I want to say there's 10.0s of this stuff on the census. So I don't know how the 9.8 is going to play in the overall market. But Amazon is working on the God of War series. I'm not sold on Amazon because they have, for me, I've not been impressed with any of the Amazon stuff. The only ones the only show that well, I'll say this, they did a good job. There's that Reacher show and then the Expanse show that I liked a lot. But other than that, my opinion, I haven't really seen any of the original stuff that's kind of that was impressing me. But that's just me. The Lord of the Rings, I watched like 2 episodes. It wasn't for me. It was they did. I don't think they did a good job on that show. But yeah, that's the 10. Well, I guess 11 comics from video game related stuff that I'm sending into CGC. Wish me luck. We'll see what the grades are, but I think there's a lot of value though that I'm gonna get back either way. Whatever grade it is, I'm gonna get some value out, especially The Last of Us and some of the other books that are kind of hot right now. But I just want to thank you guys for watching. Any support I appreciate. Likes, all you guys that subscribe and watch my videos, I really appreciate it. Like whenever you're doing this, like you're like, and you start out and you get like 1 view and you're like, man, that's like 1 view. But then you start getting some views and some subscribes, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, I just wanted to thank the audience. If you enjoyed this content, leave a like. But also keep an eye out for these books or any of the video game related comic books that are. There's a lot of video game projects in development. And I think a lot of companies are thinking ahead because they know the video game sector it's blowing it's blowing TV out, it's blowing movies out, it's blowing freaking everything out of the water. But like I said, I think there's, like, as far as culture, I think there is a cross over of comics and video games. A lot of people that like comics like video games, so there will always be that. But I know I'm rambling on at the end, but let me get the heck out of here. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day.